Hi there, y'all. Another lunch break video, middle of the week, since of course I didn't get the weekend again. As I'd mentioned in the last video, went to the mountains. I'm blurry again. I messed with some video settings a little bit at the beginning. It does not seem to be helping. This webcam is absolutely an HD webcam, so I'm not sure what's going on. I'll play around with that later, I'm sure. But since I would rather get this video out a little bit blurry than delay it all the way to the weekend when I can mess with it, I would rather get this out now. So I went to the mountains with my partner over the weekend, and it was a lot of fun. It was basically what I expected in that I was able to close all my rings. It did rain, but not at any time we wanted to hike, so that was great. So it was basically what I expected in that I closed all my rings and was able to be active, but also I did end up overeating. Most of my food choices, as far as like at meals at the location, were good, but while traveling, like we did, while driving there, at the lunch break that we took, or dinner break, I guess it would have been, there really wasn't a lot available, and I ended up, it's like I had to have barbecue, but I had fruit as a side and the small portion of barbecue, that kind of a thing. And then, uh, but once we got there, I tried to make sure that we went to places that I could eat relatively healthy. I certainly went over my calories, but I mean, not by I didn't go crazy, I guess is what I'm saying. That said, after the hiking, we were going back to our Airbnb, and we knew we were gonna like spend the whole night at the Airbnb, obviously, but like watch some shows and stuff as the bad weather set in. So I wanted snacks, and I got snacks, and I ate too many snacks. So from a food perspective, not a great weekend, but the hiking was good. We went on I think it was maybe about a 3 hour hike, maybe two and a half. My tracking kind of stopped partway through, but it was definitely more than two. I closed my rings and quite a bit then some. It was one that was ranked as easy on all trails, and it was uphill the entire way there and down, and a slight downhill the way back, obviously, because it was an out and back trail, and it was very annoying, very very annoying. It was very enjoyable, is what I meant to say. I saw lots of wildlife, and I was so happy that I didn't decide to start exercising by going to the mountains. I'd been exercising for, I guess, about 3 weeks before I went out, because that would have destroyed my calves. I would not have been able to finish that if I'd been where I was 3 weeks ago. So that was really like encouraging to, I may not have dropped a bunch of weight or anything. I may not look super buff, but I can already tell that the effort that I've been putting in these past few weeks has had an impact on my physical fitness. And so that's been really good. And the trip in general was good. We enjoyed it. I can give you all sorts of stories about like some stuff that we did, but it's not really relevant to this type of vlog. It's not health or anything. We had this experience at a museum. Who asked for a refund at a museum? We went in, and this woman was demanding a refund from a museum because she didn't enjoy it. What the heck? Anyways, it's neither here nor there. So the trip was great, and it wasn't just great as far as what we did, but also the fact that because it was so enjoyable, not only going on the trip, going hiking, but also that was our first trip away together. And so that was enjoyable as well. So I think that I've got my partner a little bit bit by the going outside bug as well. So we've already planned another trip. This will be a primitive camping trip, so we're not going to do the Airbnb thing. We'll instead, break out the sleeping bags and stuff, which I haven't done in a long time, and actually camp 2 nights at a campground, which will be about 2 hours away. That'll be in 2 or 3 weeks, so I'm going to keep going so that I can hike even more. I'm not sure if I'm ready to graduate to the moderate trail, so we'll see. But I think if I do one moderate and a few easy while we're out there, I'll be fine. So I'm enthusiastic about that. My weight, and maybe this is because of all the snacks I mentioned, but my weight has not gone down, and in fact it's gone up a bit. I had been, I think I started, I don't remember what I said that I started with, or somewhere around 206 or something like that. Then I ended up under 200 before the last week's video. Like I'd said at the last week's video, I got slightly over 200, but only by like a portion of a pound. And today I think I was at 202 or 203 or something like that. My body fat percentage has either been staying the same or going down, so I know that this is just a result of the fact that, and yeah, a little bit of it is snacks. I can't pretend that I'm doing everything well. but a fair amount of it at least is the fact that I've also been exercising and building muscle and such. And that isn't just like, oh, I've packed on so much muscle. I know I haven't packed on that much, but you know, all that the swelling and stuff brings water with it and things like that. So I'm trying not to get discouraged over the fact that the weight's going up instead of down, and just knowing that it will all even out over time. I've started adding weightlifting back in. I'm just doing strong lifts 5x5, so I've only done that for like I think 4 workouts. But I'll do that so now that I'm to the point that I'm doing that, I'm going to every other day I'll do a lifting workout, and then interspersed between those will be something cardio like, and so that might be swimming, which is what it has been recently. Biking when the weather's good. It's been kind of stormy here, and so I just haven't been out on my bike in a while, like a week or so. But I will that's on the agenda, as is eventually running, or for right now just walking and doing all sorts of arm calisthenics while I walk to keep my heart rate up. Those are the plans, is 5x5 strong lift program interspersed with cardio as a way to I really like this. Before, what I'd been doing was I was doing the lifting routine interspersed with just the like running a 5K every other day. I'd built up to that with the Couch to 5K, and then I'd been actually, once I'd done that, I'd started doing the Bridge to 10K plan, and that was where I was mostly done with that by the time that when COVID hit and things just went downhill. But so as a result of that, I never really got a lot of variety. Certainly I could, vary my lifts, and I did. I had like an A, a B, and a C routine I do each week to get all sorts of different muscles, not just the major ones, but accessory work as well. But other than like when it comes to cardio, like I noticed that like if it doesn't matter the fact that I could run nearly a 10K, if I had to go a block on a bike, I would have been out of shape, because it just uses different muscle groups in different ways. So I'm excited about this way with the swimming, the biking, the walking / running, and eventually, I should say intermittently some hiking, because it's really going to be more like varied CrossFit, and that concept of like functional fitness as opposed to just being really good at lifts was always, or really good at running but not much else, always really appealed to me. Now CrossFit itself is way too expensive, and I know that I know that they were canceled a few years back because the owner was doing some bad stuff. I don't know if they're uncanceled or what, but I never got into CrossFit purely because of the time, and also a risk of injury. I know that, they do what they can to keep you safe, but the nature of the workouts seemed to lead to injury more than the usual. I don't know stats. I'm not saying statistically significant increase in injury, but maybe. But just certainly anecdotally, it seemed to be more likely to cause injury, especially for someone like me who hadn't been into functional fitness before. But the concept always kind of appealed to me. So that's why I'm kind of excited about this whole varying of the different types of workouts I'm doing, is because it does make me feel like I'm getting a more well-rounded fitness profile, instead of just being really good at these lifts and running. So really good is a little bit exaggerated there, but I was doing my best, and I'm going to keep doing my best. So I know that these past few videos I've been talking entirely about exercise, despite the fact that I introed the first video talking about my nutrition background, and that I'm a dietitian and everything like that. I want to do a video that's like really talking more about like what I'm doing nutritionally. So I think I'm going to save that for next week so that this doesn't go super long. I do have to go back to work eventually. So on Sunday, I should be back on the normal schedule. I don't have anything planned for the weekend that would keep me from doing that. So on Sunday, I will do a video, and I'm committing now to make it more of a nutrition talk type of here's what I've been eating or not eating and all that jazz. So thanks for watching the video.